What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching the Ragin Ronin review. I got a series review for you. Recently, I checked out Defending Jacob on Apple TV. And this is a series that I really wanted to watch because, simply put, I missed Chris Evans. Straight up, that's the only reason why I watched the series. This was the next thing he worked on after Avengers Endgame. We saw Avengers Endgame in 2019, and I haven't seen anything from him since. So the next thing was Defending Jacob, and I just wanted to see him on the screen again, and that's the only reason. And based on the title, it was about, like, in the poster, I saw that the poster has him, his wife, and his kid, I assume is his son. I guess that's Jacob. It's Defending Jacob. Then I watched the I read the synopsis, and it's about defending Jacob from in this murder where he's the prime suspect. So that in itself got me pretty intrigued. It's a limited series, so there's 8 episodes, 45 minutes each. So essentially, we know that it ends. It's not like one of these TV shows which has seasons and seasons and seasons that keeps on going. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't watched that many TV series, is because I don't like knowing that, like Walking Dead, for example, where they just keep on going for seasons, and I don't know when it ever ends, and we never find out what is the answer to the mystery, the story, right? So I'm glad this is a limited series, and that was more that compelled me to want to check it out. On top of the fact that Chris Evans was on it, that's the main reason. Was in it. That's the main reason. Anyways, so let's talk about the series. Okay, once again, it's about Jacob, who is the prime suspect in a murder. He's a teenager, and the kid that was murdered is his classmate. Chris Evans' character, he's a district attorney, and he's basically trying to defend his son from going to jail. And they live in a small town, and I think it's in Boston, somewhere around Boston, I think. So it's one of these small towns, so everybody knows each other. So you can imagine how suspicious that can be, and how difficult that can be, especially with the press around, the neighbors, the people, the community, right? The eyes are all on them. And I really loved this series. This series is so engaging, it's so enjoyable to watch, and it is very thrilling. And by thrilling, I mean it's a thriller. Like, there's a lot of intense moments. Also, another thing I like about it is I watched a lot of courtroom. I won't say that I watched a lot of courtroom dramas, but I have enjoyed a lot of sequences, courtroom drama sequences in movies. Okay, I don't go out of my way to watch courtroom drama films per se, where the film is essentially a courtroom drama, but I have enjoyed films which have courtroom scenes. They're quite intense. I thought this was done really, really well. I thought this was really intense. I like the courtroom drama scenes, and I've never felt that way before about courtroom drama scenes. It makes me want to watch more actual courtroom drama films, because you know the way that these the defendants and the lawyer and like how the Commonwealth, how they talk to each other is very fascinating to me, and the way they ask the questions and the way they get what they want, that part's done really, really well. For those that watch a lot of courtroom dramas, and those involved in law, like they're probably like thinking, what the hell, that's just how it is, right? But to me, that's something, I wouldn't say it's necessarily new, but I've never been that engaged by it until now. So that's really cool. And that's basically the essence of this series. That's what it is. It's about defending Jacob. And what I like about it is that for an 8-episode limited series, there's a lot of developments. Every episode has something exciting about it, has something intense about it, has something that's like it keeps you guessing. And that's a great thing about the series. It just keeps you guessing with new developments. Every episode, there's new developments. And I love that it takes place in the age of social media, because there's that plays a huge part in his suspicion. So that's really, really cool. There's a lot of great performances in this, and there's a lot of times where I just feel like, Jacob, come on, man, stop acting like an idiot. If you want to prove your innocence, you gotta smarten up. And I think that, that's annoying, but that's part of what makes his character so well written. So that's really, really cool. By the way, this is based off of a novel, so That's where the story came from. It came from the novel. Okay, I want to be completely straight up about this. Everything in this series was great. There are 8 episodes in this. The 7 episodes out of the 8 are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The 8th episode, oh man, it just fell apart on the 8th episode. The thing is that I can't say that this is a bad series because 7/8 of the way, it's really good. Okay, it is really good 7/8 of the way. The 8th episode was just a bit of a letdown. I read about it. I won't spoil anything, but I read about it, and I'll tell you that they should have stuck with the book. They should have stuck with the book's ending. And I never read the book, but I read about it. Okay, because like after it ended, I was thinking to myself, "Are you serious? Okay, that's it. That's how it ends." And then I read about it, and then I found out that they deviated from the book. All right, don't go read it. You're gonna spoil it. But I'm just saying that they should have stuck with that. And it just feels like your typical Hollywood changes, man. Why did they make Why does Hollywood always have to make these changes with movies and TV shows why don't they just stick with the original source material? It would be way more impactful and it would be more satisfying for the audience, because I wasn't satisfied with how they concluded it. I'm a little bit upset about that. I won't say I'm upset, but I'll just say I was quite disappointed that that's how it ended. It just made you want a 9th episode or wanted an epilogue to just wrap it up. But they changed it. And what they did was they did like basically a Hollywood bastardization of this novel. So that's the unfortunate part. The rest of it is great. The performances are great. Chris Evans is great. The adaptation of it is great. Like the screenplay and everything that they did to make this into a live action series is great. It's just that they decided to make some creative liberties for the ending that just left audiences going like, what the hell was that? We worked our way up for that. But don't get me wrong, this is a very great series. You will find a lot of twists and turns, a lot of thrills, and yeah, I think for the most part you'll really like it, because for the most part I really liked it. Okay, so in that sense, I will give it an 8 out of 10. It could have been a 10 or even a 9.5 if they've just stuck that ending, stick to the same ending as the book. Okay, that would have worked so well. This is one of those rare times where I just feel like, oh man, I'm not I don't care for changes from books, right? Because I never read the books. But now I understand why people are upset about the changes. This one didn't work for me, okay? But the rest of the series worked. 7 out of 8 episodes were great. But the ending is what leaves the final impression. I'll still give it an 8 out of 10. And I will still recommend it. Especially being a Chris Evans fan. He was great in this. Watch it for him. Anyways, my name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.